Bass guitarist Neil Alden may have an artificial arm, but he has no tin ear.
Well, my mother worked in a lamp shop where low levels of radiation were emitted from Depression-era iridium glass. It's a birth defect. I was born without my right arm. Could have been worse, though. Another kid was born without a head. He didn't make it, though.
Despite his physical limitations, Neil became interested in music at a young age. Ill-equipped to play most instruments, his mother tried to placate the boy with a kazoo, but its tinny hum seemed to him more a mockery of music, and worse, his inability to play.
Neil's father and I aren't musical people. We're Presbyterians.
In his teens, however, Neil discovered hard rock perennials Van Halen, and was instantly smitten with the work of bassist Michael Anthony.
I remember Neil's interest in the bass guitar was met uneasily by the department. We admired his verve, but could do little by way of special instruction. Not only did he not have the customary number of arms, he was also lacking a bass, and the district couldn't see fit to purchase a guitar for a one-armed pupil. Neil didn't fit the program.
Always a resourceful young man, Neil fashioned a facsimile from a length of styrofoam and a Sharpie pen, and set to mastering the instrument by studying Van Halen videos. Meanwhile, in Stuttgart, Germany, engineer Carl During was experimenting with a new line of prostheses that afforded effective but roughshod articulation of mechanical fingers, toes, and even eyebrows. He had yet to test his latest ante into the fore of the artificial limb market, Die Roboterhand. During was scheduled to debut Die Roboterhand at the annual International Engineering Prosthetics Conference in Lumaville last year. It would be among a throng of prosthetic limb enthusiasts that the hand of fate would bring During and Neil together. As a waiter at the Flamingo Hotel, disasters were frequent on Neil's shift. It was one such spill that brought them together as doctor and patient.
Scheiße!
I'm so
My
sorry.
foot! Imbecile!
Sorry.
Sir,
Sir, allow me.
Oh, I see. How music is affecting you. Very, very interesting.
All I ever wanted to do was play bass guitar like Michael Anthony and Van Halen, but
During invited Neil to visit his suite, where he said he could make him feel like a whole man. Dr. During had another surprise for Neil.
wow, a Victoria P-bass copy, just like Michael Anthony's first bass.
It's a copy of a copy.
Though the tones Neil produced were not music by conventional Western standards, he was confident his skills would eventually grow to match the strength of Die Roboterhand. On this assumption, Neil placed the fateful ad in the Lumaville Daily Echo. One-armed bassist seeks band, ask for Bionic Man.
Our first thought was, anybody who called himself the Bionic Man has got to be like totally badass.
Wade Leonard fronts Jetco, which he recently reformed with brother and rhythm guitarist Zane.
I mean, we were hurting for a new sound and figured, dude, if Def Leppard can have a one-armed drummer, then big deal. Why not a bassist with a bionic arm?
Hell of a handshake!
And that Def Leppard guy, he started out with 2 arms. Our guy only ever had 1 arm. There was no phantom limb, no memory of completeness. Our guy was hardcore from day 1.
Hell of a handshake!
I was nervous about the audition at first. I had never jammed with a real band before, and though I was proficient with the styrofoam fretboard, I hadn't quite gotten my chops on the P-bass. With Das Roboterhand, however, I could really deliver that basso vibrato.
With the final approval of Cockney-born drummer Angus Slappy Miles, Oi! The one-armed bassist landed his first gig. Jetco began playing club gigs at the Lumaville Bowling Alley, and were soon penning tunes tailored to the band's new lineup that showcased Neil's emerging talent. To wit, the band wrote and recorded demo versions of Hold Me With Your Robot Hand, in homage to their bassist, and the romantic ballad Dr. Lovesex. The band's first EP, 7 Arms to Hold You, was by all accounts a local sensation.
I felt like I could have gone solo. I felt like I was carrying the whole band in this freak show, let's see this one-arm guy kind of way. Things were copacetic. The songs were becoming hits and I was becoming really popular with the ladies.
But all was not copacetic. The one-armed bassist was rapidly being looked upon as the one-armed bandit. Neil's relationship with the band was suffering what is commonly known in rock and roll as the Sutcliffe factor. The brooding Stuart Sutcliffe was pop legend the Beatles' original bass guitarist. He was arty, svelte, and enigmatic, but he was also an abysmally untalented musician. Sutcliffe's musicianship was so poor, the other Beatles would unplug his amplifier during gigs. Fortunately, a fatal brain aneurysm ended Sutcliffe's career. Jetco began to have dark thoughts about Neil. His smugness and inflated self-worth caused a rift between he and the other members. In desperation, Wade and Zane wrote a letter to Michael Anthony.
So I get a letter from these kids, man. They say that their bass player is an egomaniac and can't play. You know, the Sutcliffe factor.
I didn't realize how bad I had gotten. It wasn't about the music anymore, it was just all about me.
I felt something telling me, Michael, now it's your turn to give back, man.
So we're in rehearsal and the phone rings.
And I'm like, hello, 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 who is this? Who is it, man?
It's Michael Anthony from Van Halen.
Neil remembers what Michael Anthony said verbatim.
As people, we must strive for the great gestalt.
Where our actions unify with others, so all of our contributions create a whole, truly greater than the sum of its parts. E pluribus unum, from many, one. We are merely parts and cannot be whole ourselves until we meaningfully connect with others, man. Be that with one's friends and lovers, in one's quotidian encounters with the public, or simply with the world at large, an unintegrated part rises and falls apart. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Jetco! I just want to say that even though I'm self-taught, I still learned my lesson.